What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Lake Charles Experience. Today, it's no normal experience, it's a creative one, because we are here at the Little Art House in South Lake Charles, just off of Lake Street, where they use upcycled materials to help bring your dreams to life right here on canvas. I'm super excited about today's episode. I hope you are too. Let's go check them out. Hey, Ellie.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm so good. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
So for those who don't know, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us about where we're at and what this place is.
My name is Ellie. This is the Little Art House. We are an interactive art studio. We use upcycled materials and repurpose them into art.
I love that. So everything here is recycled, upcycled materials that you just get from either the community or donations?
We do order some things like fiberglass. We have some like little toy figurines and stuff like that. But other than that, the majority of our stuff is donated or we find it at thrift shops, garage sales, stuff like that. You want to take a look around?
I'd love that. After you.
So this is one of our walls, obviously. Everything on this wall is things that family or friends or employees have done. We actually do have a lot of pieces that customers have made that they have not picked up yet. So we end up putting them on the wall because we don't want them to just sit on the rack and nobody look at them.
So is any of this artwork yours? And if so, what's your favorite piece?
Oh, I have several, but I think my favorite one is probably the cards. I think it was the meticulousness of it, but I used our shard bowls with the for the entire thing, because we have a lot of shards. Like after people finish making a piece and stuff like that, they have just like a bunch of little shards left in their buckets, and so we don't want to get rid of them, so we try to use them as much as we could. So we have 2 shard bowls on each end of the table.
And you were telling me before, as we were walking around earlier, that there's a kids section and an adult section. What separates the two besides the height of the table?
Well, the pieces on this table, the kids table, are all like not sharp edges. So it's tumbled glass, like little gems and beads and marbles and stuff like that.
Oh, that rocks.
So all the kids tables, whenever we have like kids' birthday parties or just a group of kids walk in, we usually sit them at this table. 14 and up, we say, you know, they can go ahead and use the cutters and stuff like that. So we put them at the tall table.
Safety first, that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
So I see a bunch of pieces on racks here, and a lot of things back here that I can't really see. Is this where everything gets dried at and cured?
Yeah, we usually will put some glue on the canvas after the customer's completed, and we just set it right here to dry. Usually it takes 2 days for the glue to dry, just depending on the season. The winter, it dries really quickly. So after the glue is completely dry, we epoxy it, and once we put the epoxy on it, we put it on these shelves to cure, usually overnight. And after that, we contact them to pick it up. It's usually like 2 or 3 days. Okay.
How many pieces do y'all normally keep at once that are curing or in process, or?
It depends on the weekend. If it's like a really busy weekend, sometimes all 3 of these will be full, but on a good weekend, sometimes 1 or 2.
That's awesome.
It just depends. Sometimes we're backed up for a couple of days.
So are these pieces people are currently working on right now?
Yeah, these are all pieces we've set out that are ready to be epoxied. It's kind of a tedious method, but it's obviously worth it in the end because it comes out really cool.
What's the process behind getting them from this stage to being epoxied? How does that look?
It's kind of crazy. We have these cones, I'm just gonna set this aside, that we have to prop up. And this was like months of trial and error that we figured this out. We have these cones, and we used to just put them like on the edges of the canvases, but the epoxy would start pooling into the center because of the weight. So we cut these boards ourselves. It's wood, and we wrap it in wax paper. So we have to elevate the canvas, because if it's just plopped down on a piece of paper, the epoxy is just gonna go flat like that. So we elevate it, we put it on these boards, and then we mix the epoxy. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, and just basically paint it on with paintbrushes.
That's awesome. So is there any masking like a concrete mask would be, like so that it doesn't run off, or it runs off and it cures as it is?
Yeah, we let it run off basically because it's actually a doming epoxy. So there's like different types. A crafting epoxy is a lot thinner. We have like a tabletop epoxy, so it kind of holds its shape a little better. So we just let the excess kind of run off, and then what needs to be on it stays on it usually.
Okay, I love that. So I saw a little piece out there I have a couple questions about. Do you mind showing me and telling me what this is about?
So this is our contribution this month, or this upcoming month. The 9/11 Memorial downtown by the Civic Center, they are redoing sort of like their benches. One of our friends who teaches stained glass classes here sometimes, they've asked her to do it. So she has like several thousand pieces and she has to do them before a certain day. So we're kind of helping her, us and all of our employees and stuff like that. There's a piece for every person that we lost in 9/11. So we have to have this done by September 11th.
That's
so it's a work in progress.
So is each of these pieces of paper going to be an individual piece of glass or other sort of upcycled material?
Essentially, yeah.
That's
we kind of use
incredible.
these as a stencil. You kind of carve the glass and then we have our way of breaking it. So we're just at this point trying to get all of these pieces cut.
So I've seen the 9/11 Memorial before, and this doesn't seem like it's going to be the whole thing. Is there going to be more pieces like this?
Yes, 4 of these is one section. I think there's 3 sections.
Okay. Oh,
So
wow,
we have
this is
3
a big
more
project.
to go. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it is.
incredible, but it's so awesome that y'all are doing this. So that actually is a great time to ask, aside from this, what are some other things you're doing to be involved in the community and just kind of give back to the community?
Yeah, we do a lot for different schools.
Okay.
So like any school or churches and stuff in the area, if they have like auctions or stuff like that, we like to donate like a group of 4 or something like that.
Oh, wow. This is an absolutely amazing project y'all are doing. It's super cool to see not only giving back to the community, but something that's so impactful for the nation as a whole.
Yeah.
And I love that we're going to be restoring the 9/11
Yeah.
Memorial, and you guys get to be a part of that. So that must, first off, feel amazing, but it's so cool to hear that y'all are being involved in that.
Yeah.
So kind of on the same topic, what are some other ways that the Little Art House gives back to the community?
We like to do as much as we can. We do a lot of donations, so a lot of schools have auctions, stuff like that, sports, churches, so we like to donate little groups when we can. We like to do like focused nights where we'll focus on like teachers come in and get 30% off, or first responders, stuff like that. So we like to do as much as we can.
I love that. So would you say, obviously you guys give a lot back to the community. How have you seen the community come out and show off for Little Art House and just help you guys get to where you're at today?
In every way possible. They're the only reason why we are even here right now. The feedback has been absolutely incredible. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into when we opened, but it's been everything and more because of the response that we've gotten from the community.
I love that. And like you mentioned earlier, a lot of the stuff you guys use for the upcycling is donated. I know we actually just had someone walk in while we were filming to donate a whole bucket of shells, it looked like. So is that a common thing y'all have here?
Yes, we get a lot of just, random things. People will come and donate just empty glass bottles and vases. We had a lady bring in, she had 4 lamps that broke. So she brought us all, and it was like a beautiful purple. So we depend on them a lot for obviously coming and creating, but our donations also.
I love that. So it's kind of a give and take, ebb and flow.
Yeah.
You give back to the community, not just because the community gives back to you, but because you're able to give back to the community with pieces like this. But it's awesome to see the love from the Lake Charles area coming to support these local businesses and not only help keep the doors open from the classes, the interactive things you have going on, but also just the sheer fact of bringing these materials. I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I see another art wall. I'm gonna ask you, which one's your favorite piece over here?
Actually, my favorite is going to be these koi fish up here. Aside from the fact that I love koi fish, I love the colors that they used. Also, this one, I know I said that a lot of these are ours, family, friends, and employees, stuff like that. This one was actually a customer's that I think there was no name or number on it, so we weren't able to contact them.
Wow.
So we loved it so much, so we put it on the wall.
That's amazing. So if I were to leave a piece here, it could get put on the wall, hypothetically?
Yes. Yeah, and then if you come back in 2 years to get it, it'll still be here.
I love that.
I actually have you guys set up over here. We've printed out you guys' logo.
Oh, I love it. So what's this process like?
So this isn't typically the stencils that we use. Usually our stencils are with cardstock or like a thick paper, but we've printed it on a piece of wood for y'all today. So we're still gonna use it as our stencil. This is just a 12 by 12 canvas. We usually pre-paint them. This one is pre-painted, but we have our signature colors.
Okay.
So we usually, every canvas has to be painted because if it's not, the epoxy will like seep through it.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
So basically you place the stencil, and I'll let you
Sweet.
mess with it. You place the stencil, and that one just happens to be like perfectly even. You have the option of tracing it with a pencil or chalk.
Okay.
Because the canvas is white, you know, chalk wouldn't be visible. So we do tell people that if they trace with a pencil, that we encourage them to go over it with like a gold paint pen. It kind of embellishes it a little bit more.
Okay.
The pencil's just not as clean of a look.
So do any of you wearing safety glasses for this?
Yes, we do. So I've got you a pair.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we can be safe.
The glasses are for whenever you're cutting. These, I call them scissors for glass because they're essentially that's what they are. If there's a piece that you want to shape, these are good for shaping. You could just kind of like, you know, chip it off the edge and round it or something if that's what you wanted. Or if it's like a large piece and you just want to use a portion of it, these are really good for that. Like put the wheels where I want it to break. And I actually like to hold it, like the further down you hold it, the easier it is. Because if you're holding it up here, it's just, you don't have as much leverage. But the reason for the glass is because whenever you cut it, sometimes pieces will fly.
Makes sense.
So I like to.
Oh, perfect.
So that was a success. Sometimes it'll break right where you want it to. Sometimes it'll shatter into a million pieces. You really don't know. So you also have gloves in your box.
Okay.
These are really important whenever you're going through these bins on this wall, because this is all of our broken glass.
I got you.
So it's where you will inevitably cut yourself. So we also have tweezers, and these are sort of self-explanatory if you want to get really meticulous with like the smaller pieces of this. A lot of people like to spell things out with tiny pieces like that. So these are really good for that. So for yours, I would probably recommend tracing it with the pencil first and then outlining it in the gold.
Should I fill the whole thing in or just try and get the outline?
Because this is actually kind of situational, because we don't do a lot of like letters and stuff like that. And if we do, it's like a large letter and you're outlining the outside of the letter. I would use the paint pen and I would try to outline.
Okay.
The edges of the letters are more important than the center of it.
Okay. All right, I think we're done.
Looks good.
All right, the big reveal. I can big reveal now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That really does look good.
It looks better than the actual logo. So what's the next step here?
Okay, so now, actually, let me grab a couple of these. We tell people that if there's like, because we have some like really large pieces. So if somebody wanted to use this, obviously this can't fit in a cup. So we tell people like you can bring your box around and like get large pieces if you'd like. But for the most part, these are important because this is how we keep everything separate. So you kind of just walk around and like find pieces that you want to use for your piece and like put a little in a cup. Okay. And then just keep those separate. That way, whenever you're finished, we just go back and dump it back in where it came
that makes
from.
sense to me. Cool, so I get to pick my colors?
Yes.
Cool, I've been looking around. I kind of have an idea of what I want.
Okay.
So this is what kind of rock you said?
That's actually auto glass. My dad gets really into it. He loves breaking glass and stuff like that. So he actually went to an auto shop, a local auto shop, and with a shovel and a bucket, and took a bucket of their broken glass.
I would have never thought that looking at this. So this yellow is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna grab this. And this blue right here. I'll borrow you. I think I want these colors.
Okay, I have a suggestion.
Okay, I'm listening.
We actually have some Capital One glass. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in incorporating that. Okay, let me go get some of that.
So this is the Capital One glass?
Yes, we have very little. We saved it just for y'all. So this is part of the like actual windows. And I think this is from that lower level.
That's
the
awesome.
like area on the lower level. So this is the thick stuff from the windows. I don't know if it cuts. But I guess if you wanted to incorporate a little piece of it.
I do.
That's what should make the X out of it.
I think so as well.
Oh yeah. So if you wanted to, you know, use the clippers and shape it or anything like that.
That's great.
I think it'd be very cool in y'all's.
I almost don't want to cut it because I know we can't get more of it. Okay, so I would just start laying this out on here as I would want it.
And you're not gluing anything down as you go.
Okay.
We call it a free lay. So you're just placing the pieces. It's really forgiving because if you don't like the way something looks, all you've done is place it there so you can just pick it up and move it.
That's fair.
Whenever you finish, we drizzle a little bit of clear Elmer's glue on it, and then that's when it goes to the rack to dry.
Okay, let's see if we can get everything from the bucket first. This is so cool. It's like you get to watch it come to life as you're doing this.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite project to be involved in since you've been here? Besides this one?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's a project necessarily, but we do summer camps every year. Well, we've only been open for about a year and a half now, but this was our second year doing summer camps. And it's 6 to 12 are the ages, and we do different themes. So it's 5 days in the morning, 5 days a week, and each week is a different theme. And so we did those this summer, and that was very, very fun. Very fun, meeting all of the kids and seeing all of the different personalities.
Oh, I bet.
It was a lot of fun.
So you mentioned you've been open about a year now. What was the inspiration behind opening?
I have a sister that lives in New Orleans, and my mom went to visit my sister, and while she was at work, my mom was just kind of looking for something to do and found a place in New Orleans that has essentially the same concept. And she was so obsessed with it, she made me and one of her friends go and was like, you'll have to come. And so we went. Actually, the pieces we made when she had brought us were this egret and then this, what is this called?
Seahorse?
Yeah, this seahorse. This was my first piece.
That's beautiful. So just kind of being able to go and travel and experience the world and bring that back to the city, I think that's one of the most genuine things we can do as local citizens of a place. Just the whole point of traveling is to experience things, and I think it's definitely the center of what we're doing here. But to be able to bring that back and offer it to the community that has given so much back to you, I think that's awesome to do. All right, I'm happy. What do you think?
That's awesome.
So what's next?
Okay, so I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of this clear Elmer's glue on it.
Okay.
It's just gonna sit, we're gonna let the glue dry for like 2 days, just so it's completely dry, and then we're gonna go ahead and epoxy it. Over glue and you can't under.
So this of course just seals everything together, make sure it stays.
Yeah, it's also really important you have to perfect it. You can't over glue and you can't under glue. Because if you under glue and then we have pieces that are loose, we have to like re-glue it.
Okay.
And then it takes another couple of days to dry.
So this isn't just glue, this is also part of the art too. It takes time to practice.
Yeah.
I feel like everything we've done here just from walking in has been creative.
A lot more, I think, goes into it than people expect or think.
Well, because from the outside looking in, it's just some glass that you put on a piece of paper.
Right, it seems super simple.
But no, we probably spent far too long working on this.
The way it looks after it's epoxied is it just kind of like magnifies everything. So like putting the epoxy on it, it like seals everything in and it just like makes it pop.
I like that.
So I think that's my favorite part is the epoxy process.
What was that you were just doing?
I like to do like a little tap check and I'll tap it and usually I can like hear if there's a piece that's loose. Do you see anything you want to tweak or are you good with it?
I want to bring it home right now.
Okay.
I don't want to wait.
I know, that is the hard part.
So this goes and gets epoxied. Do you have one ready that we can see be epoxied?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is the good part. I don't know if you want to glove up.
Always.
Okay. I like to double glove.
Is there a reason for it? Do I need to double glove?
There's a lot of kind of like changing gloves because once you have epoxy on your gloves, there are things that you cannot touch.
Okay.
So our heat gun, I like to take off my first pair or the second pair of gloves before I heat gun because we've wasted way too many epoxying the button completely shut. So.
Okay, well I'm gonna follow whatever you do. You're the expert.
So I'm mixing it. This is also kind of a science. So you don't want to undermix it. So you kind of have to wait until all of the ribbons are out.
So what, you said ribbons, at what point do you know it's done?
So it's kind of foggy right now, but that's actually a good thing.
Okay.
You want there to be a lot of bubbles because that means that it's mixed. So before we epoxy anything, we dust off the canvas because this is getting rid of like just fuzz or dirt or something like that. Sometimes people, if they're cutting glass over their canvas, there's just a bunch of
That's just making it perfect.
Right. You can use that popsicle stick and kind of scoop a little bit up and then just drizzle it, focus sort of on the area where the glass is.
Okay. Is there a certain amount we want
Like now I'd probably go back in, get a little more.
to start with this?
There you go.
How's this looking?
Good. Once you've kind of, you know, taken care of all the little cracks and stuff like that, you can kind of just go nuts and.
Okay, we're gonna flood the board.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sweet.
So just like a giant drizzle over the entire thing.
Okay, I don't see any.
And there will be opportunity to, you know, go back and.
So that first part was just to
Perfect.
make sure everything was, like you said, the cracks were
Yes,
filled.
yeah. Sometimes if people use like huge pieces, a lot of people use oyster shells.
Mm-hmm.
Those take a little bit longer because you have to get under the shell and make sure it's not pulling in the shell. So
And you mentioned some of y'all's oyster shells are from another local business that helps support.
yeah, we get a lot of our oyster shells from Shucks, the new
Oh, awesome.
restaurant. Yeah.
All right, I think I've done about all I'm
Yeah.
able to. Is this good?
Yes.
Okay.
Typically, we would probably have used half that, but that's okay. So then we take a brush and we kind of just spread it.
I see what you mean though, the epoxy really does make everything pop.
Yeah.
It's cool to see as you brush it with the brush strokes. I don't know if the camera can see it, but as you stroke with the brush, everything just fills back into each other.
Right. It's like self-leveling.
Mm-hmm. And you called this a dome type epoxy earlier?
Yes, it's doming, so it's better for like tabletop and
Okay.
bars and stuff like that. Okay, so this is where I like to take my first layer off.
Surprise, more gloves. Walk me
This
through
is
it.
sort of, you gotta do it just right. See?
Oh, well then I'm gonna let you do
Okay, okay. Because if you do it like too much in
Uh-huh.
one area, it can burn the epoxy and then it
Oh,
turns
yeah,
brown,
no.
it starts smoking. It's
We don't
not
want
good.
that.
So this just gets rid of the bubbles.
So this isn't the drying process, it's just to get rid of the bubbles like you said?
Right. Now she's ready for the rack. And then in the morning, whoever comes in,
Mhm.
they just empty the racks, and that's when we text people and let them know that it's ready to pick up, and that's when it gets moved over there to the completed art.
That's awesome. So would you say that's the whole process start to finish?
Pretty much. I think so. If we got everything, yeah.
So thank you so much for letting us do this. Again, it
Yeah,
was an
absolutely.
amazing time. The piece looks phenomenal. I can't wait to see it epoxied. Is there anything that you want to say on behalf of yourself or the Little Art House to the community that's helped support you guys so far?
Just a gigantic thank you, because none of this, obviously, it could be possible without them. It's insane. I don't think anybody expected the amount of positive feedback that we get. So it's just awesome. It's just a blessing.
I love that. I think it really speaks to how we were talking about earlier, where when you go and you find something that you're passionate about and something exciting and you bring it back to allow others to experience
Yeah.
that. And I was talking with your mom earlier about the business, and she just had so much love, so much care about not only the community, but the staff, the people who come
Yeah.
in here, everyone who's involved in this and the community itself. She just had nothing but great things to say. So I think that is infectious.
Yeah.
I think that people I felt peaceful when I walked in. So I think that's a great time you can have an ambiance. We talked about everyone had their phones down. There was
Yeah.
not one person on their cell phone in here. So I think you guys have done a great job of making this a comfortable place for people to come and experience
you.
something fun. I had a phenomenal time. I got to be all artsy and creative, so I'm excited about that. And just thank you guys for doing this. I think it's a great
Absolutely. Thank y'all
opportunity.
so much for thinking of us.
What an amazing and creative experience here at the Little Art House. Look at this art piece. How crazy is that? And all of this is upcycled materials. The X and the Lake Charles itself is actually pieces from the old Capital One building that was destroyed after the storm. How cool is that? As a resident of Lake Charles, that's so special to me. I can't wait to put this on the wall. Again, thank you to Ellie, Miss Leslie, and the family for allowing us to be here and make a project such like this. It's such an amazing experience. I'm super happy. Thank you all for watching. This is the Lake Charles Experience, and we'll see you next time.